All right, all right, all right. Here we go. We are back. It's been a little bit of a while actually. The gaps between games has been a little bit longer than usual. Let me just do my checks real quick. Also, my window is in a really weird place. Why is it not there? There we go. Right, pause that. Let's get the chat out. Pop out. There we go. I talk about it a lot, but like there needs to be an option that YouTube sets up where you can have your chat popped out at all times and it just defaults to that. I don't know why it's defaulted to the other one. But yes, we are back. Chelsea versus Crystal Palace this weekend, and this is a big one. This is actually a really, really big one for a numerous amount of reasons. Not only just because it's been a while since we won a game, it's been 3 games since we've won. Not only is it a London derby, it's an away game at Selhurst Park, and this is usually a fixture that we dominate in. It's usually a fixture that we enjoy, and especially away from home at Palace, we actually really enjoy beating Palace at their own patch. But also in terms of the league table, now obviously the earlier kickoff today is Newcastle Spurs, and Newcastle are currently winning, which means they've caught up to us on points. So imperative that we get at least 1 point from this game, preferably 3. That will also push us above Nottingham Forest, and they play Wolves, I believe, on Monday, so we'll be above them into third. And also to close the gap against Arsenal, who also have a game later today, or same time as today, I believe. So yeah, very big game. We've got some returning faces. We've also got some players from their team that are out injured. We've obviously got some injuries too. But yeah, really big one today, and hopefully we can get some points. Let me move into the next screen. There's the Discord going off. Let me go into the next screen. Right. So the first thing you're going to see, I did say about this, I did mention this, and we're bringing the bingo card back. Very excited to do this again. Again, I'm not really sure why I stopped doing the bingo card. It just stopped happening. I think it was the crossover between switching GBU into Feeling Blue, and I just stopped doing these. We're now going to be able to do this because I do pre-match streams now, we'll be able to do this as like a thing that we see before the game, then after the game we can actually tick them off and see what happened and what didn't happen, etc, etc. Give me a sec. There we go. Sorry, my settings are being all really weird on OBS. There you go, let's get that up. But yeah, so we have a few funny ones. Some are in reference to old ones. Unfortunately, we do not have the giant gap in midfield that we usually used to have under Poch, which is quite a funny recurring one that we used to have. But instead, obviously, we've got the free space in the middle. I've got this question mark one here because I was thinking maybe the chat could add one here. Because I'm not really sure what to go for that. I'll go through these and kind of explain what they are, because some of them aren't very self-explanatory. Disassi Howler, that one is quite self-explanatory. If he plays, and he has a major mistake that either leads to a goal or leads to a very big opportunity, then that will be ticked off. We have Sanchez with a Rose Ed pass, or a Rose E pass, which, depending on where you're from in the world. Yeah, we see this all the time. This is just from one of those times when Sanchez just blasts it out of the pitch for no reason, when we could very easily play it short. So we'll see that. We have Why Are You There? Obviously a reference to Nepenthes, but this is just for those moments where we get like a player who's about to shoot or something, and just there's a player just that's not supposed to be in that certain position that gets the ball. I'm looking at Cucurella. It's probably going to be Cucurella that gets this because his position is always so bizarre. Former Chelsea player scores. Now there is a few former Chelsea players that play for Palace. I think the only one that can play actually is Gay, so that'll have to be a Gay goal if he gets there. Academy product gets minutes. Now this is for specifically players that have just recently been brought up to the first 11. So Tyreek George, Josh Chempong, hopefully those guys can get some minutes. Palmer goal/assist, standard. Last week's scapegoat. Now this is a fun one because this happens quite a lot. So usually we get these moments in Chelsea games where the scapegoat of last match, which is in this case would be Disassi, and maybe some others that are a bit suspect at the back as well. They somehow do this where they're terrible one game, and then the next game when everyone's on their back, they kind of rejuvenate themselves. So that's what that's for. Caicedo booked for a clean tackle, self-explanatory. He always gets yellow carded for absolutely perfect timed tackles. I don't know why. James plays again. He's back on the bench today, so, or I assume he will be. So hopefully he can get one. Defense scores. This is just for a defender scoring. Jackson booked for dissent. Now, this happens quite a lot. This is if he gets a yellow for arguing with the refs, because this always happens. Colwell getting rowdy, again, same thing. Usually happens. He usually gets into fights for no reason. Obviously, we've got the free space. Maresca ball in full flow. Now, that's specifically for if we get a goal, or let's say a goal or a very big chance at least that leads to a save, where it's one of those classic Maresca moves where it starts from the back, from the goalkeeper, and goes all the way through the team to the other end. VAR horror decision, we've been having these all season, so hopefully we get some of those. And Zini assist, this is just for Fernandez if he gets an assist, but specifically I want this to be like one of those like long ball passes, pings, rather than just like a corner, because he takes our corners at times. So hopefully there. Hey Sports, obviously in reference to Joao Felix, hopefully he gets on the pitch. Pedro Neto no. Now this is fun. This is a very, very niche one, because we've seen in the last 2 games Pedro Neto has done this thing where he keeps going down and holding his face like he's been shot, even though he's not been hit at all. This is fair if he does it for a 3rd game in a row. Winger to winger. This is a classic Chelsea one, when one of our wingers plays the ball across the box and absolutely no one gets it, and it goes straight to another winger. That's what this is for. And Nkunku has a 9 again. Again, that's self-explanatory. Just, I don't want him to play there, so hopefully we don't get that one. Luke the Nuke reference. This is a fun one. Obviously, Luke Littler has just recently won the Darts World Championship, and I guarantee the commentary will make some kind of reference to him in this game. I imagine there will not be a game. This will definitely happen across some of the games, the 3 PM games today. I don't know if it will be in ours, but hopefully it's in ours, so we can take that off. Birthday boy Guiu. This is for Mark Guiu. It's his 19th birthday. Easy for me to say. It's his 19th birthday today, so hopefully he can get some minutes. That's what that's for. Grass is always greener. This is a fun one too. This is for, it applies a lot to our wingers, but we always have this situation in our fan base where, for example, Pedro Neto has a poor game and everyone screams, oh, we should be playing Madueke instead. And then the next game, Madueke will get a goal game and they'll go, oh, we should be playing Pedro Neto instead. So that's for that situation. That's basically a fan base thing. If we see the fan base saying, oh, we should be playing this player instead, that's kind of what that's for. New Year, same Chelsea. Again, this is a bit of a pessimistic one. This is just if we have gotten past this new year and we lose again or draw again, that's what this is for. And then again, I had this one which I'm not really sure what we can do. Maybe we can add that as basically another free space later on. But because the lineups are probably going to come out very, very soon, they usually come out about a quarter of an hour before the hour. I'm going to go through what my lineup for this game will be and do my predicted lineup. Hopefully this will not be annoying and I can bring it to the front. Lovely. Hello, welcome in. Just in time for the predicted lineup. And my camera hasn't flipped or anything. Great. So, first up, in goal, it's going to be Robert Sanchez. I think that the game that we just played against Ipswich was a bit of a rotation game for us. I think that that Maresca kind of decided to play players that aren't regulars just to see what could happen, and maybe we could rest some players for that weaker fixture. Didn't end up working. I think we'll return to a more solid standard starting 11 today. So Sanchez goes in. I think Gusto will play, though this could be Disasi again. Not sure. It's again, it's this is kind of a toss-up between those two in my opinion. I think Gusto would be better to play, and I imagine he would come back in. In the centre, or the right centre-back spot, we'll play Tosin Adadabioyo. Again, I think because we haven't got Fofana, and Fofana, of course, has now been ruled out for the rest of the year, supposedly, or the rest of the season, which is a very, very long time, as it's kind of said, but it's rumoured that he's going to be out for the rest of the season, which is devastating. So Tosin's going to have to really step up. He's going to have to play there. Next to him will be Levi Colwill, of course, because he always plays, and he's going to be playing in a bit of a weird position. If Gusto is inverting, I think he'll play central, and that'll be good for us. If not, he's going to be pushed out a little bit more wide, as Kukurea, who is the left back in this team, I think kind of does the inverting instead. In the centre, I think this is going to be as strong as ever. Lavia is back, but I don't think he's fit enough for a start. So in the holding role, we'll see Caicedo. I don't think that changes very much. Above him, we shall see Enzo Fernandez and Palmer, as we usually do. I think, again, I think this is going to be a pretty standard formation for us, because I don't think the players that have come back, even though James is now on the bench as well, obviously we've got a Chempong, I don't think any of those guys are actually going to play. I think that this is a game where Maresca really needs to kind of say, hey, we need to get back to winning ways, so I think he's going to field a very, very strong team, and kind of like, what's the word? Learn from the mistake of rotating the players out for the weaker teams, as it were. For the right wing spot, we'll go from right to left here. This is a toss-up between Madueke and Pedro Neto for me, but personally, I think I want to see Madueke play. I think he's just a bit more dangerous and a bit more direct. He hasn't been getting a lot of minutes, other than bench minutes recently, so I'd like to see him start. On the opposite side, I will be putting Sancho back in. Again, he's very direct. He's a player that can take players on. I don't really want to see that weird thing that we saw with Joao Felix playing in a pseudo left wing role and then Cucurella being pushed up really high. It doesn't work. I want to see us return to 2 wingers today. And then, of course, up top will be Nicholas Jackson. Now, if this isn't Jackson, I don't want it to be Nkunku. I mentioned this in the bingo section that I just do not see Nkunku as a 9. I don't want him to play as a 9. I would rather see Guiu get some minutes on his birthday. That would be good. So Jackson starts for me. He always does he always does as our starting striker. I feel like against a strong team in Palace and a team in Palace that will be hard for us to break down, and a team that will be hard for us to kind of create opportunities against, I think we need a very strong front 3 here, and that's kind of what I've gone for. Now I will check here just to see if the lineups are out, because once they are, I'm going to be putting them up on screen. I'm assuming they're going to be a few more minutes. Team news on the way is what they've just tweeted out, so hopefully we get it in a little bit. But yeah, so this is kind of what I want to see. Let me just see what some of you guys are saying in chat. I haven't actually seen the interview with Oliver Glasner, so I can't really make a opinion on that. I don't think. A lot of the time what people say in press conferences and stuff is taken out of context and screwed up by the media, so I don't really take it at face value, to be honest. I think that we are saying that if he has verbatim said that we are not a creative player, a creative team, that's just ridiculously stupid considering we're one of the most high scoring teams in the league. But there we go. Again, I don't expect him to have actually said that. And again, someone's mentioned a Chempong. I don't think Josh will play. Again, he's been given the new contract, obviously a 5-year deal. I just don't think that he's in high enough of the pecking order to play. Same thing with George. Like we saw in that last game how we needed a spare winger to come in, because obviously we don't have Mudryk anymore because he's been suspended, and instead of George playing, we got Felix playing instead, right? Same thing with this, that we saw that Josh could have played instead for that game at the weekend, and instead we see Disasi play instead of him. I don't think Maresca particularly has. It's not that he doesn't have faith in the young guys. I think it's more so he needs or wants to have that kind of seniority in the team, and that kind of pathway to minutes being harder for the young guys. So they have to kind of work harder to get there. That's all I would say about that. Do I think James will play? I think he will get some minutes today. I would imagine he gets some minutes off the bench. I don't think he's going to start. If he does start, I'd be very, very shocked considering his injury record. But we do know that the reason he's been out for this extended period of time now has been his other hamstring. It's not the one that he had the surgery on. It's not the one that's been causing him so many issues. It's actually his other one. So I think that he'll be at least back to his best after this injury, and hopefully he can stay fit. That would be great. Having a run with James in the team for more than 5 games would be I think it's wishful thinking, if I'm being honest, but it would be good considering we need our captain on the pitch, and of course he is tailor-made for this kind of right centre-back role, or the right-back, right centre-back role that we've kind of been seeing, that Gusto have been playing and Disasi has been playing, because obviously we see Cucurella coming into the centre and then roaming around in the kind of half space. I think that right side is this is a problem position because we always have Gusto, right? and we always see Gusto and Cuckoo kind of interchanging with whether who's going to do the inverting. I really don't like Gusto doing it because I just don't think he's as technically gifted on the ball as Kukurea is. So if Reese does play, I think that they'll kind of revert back to that. Those three will play as the back three, and then Cuckoo can get really high and he can do things up there. Yeah, you know what? I would genuinely, if I had the answer for that question, I would give it to you. I don't know why Vega doesn't get more minutes. Again, I think it's mainly because he is he's seen more as a left back and a centre mid, and for the most part, he's used as a rotational option in the conference games, and you don't want to overload players, especially young players like he is. You don't want to overload them with loads of games. And I think Maresca's just a bit cautious with all of our players in terms of their kind of, obviously we know how injury prone a lot of our players are, and to add on to those, considering we've already got Wes out, we've already got Lavia's been out for a long time, we've had James out for a long time, we've got Badia Shield out now, apparently Kiernan is also injured at the moment, so I don't think he wants to risk losing more players. It's a bit confusing that he's not playing in situations like last game. I feel like in the last game that we played against Ipswich, we could have seen him play instead of Disassi, and the back line could have shifted around, because then we can see Colwell in the centre rather than him being on the left, which would have been much better. So I'm not really sure why he wasn't used there, but I guess that's the reason why. It's 45 past, so hopefully we get the lineups out here. I'll have to wait to see if they have uploaded them. There we go, we got the team sheet out. Oh, well, it came out for a second and it went away again. They've deleted it. They put it up and they've deleted it, so I'm wondering if they've rehashed it. Okay, there we go. Now it's been pinned. Let me switch over to... Yeah, he's left-footed. He is left-footed. Where is... Let me just switch over to this screen real quick, because now I can get this up. All right. I'll have to adjust this on screen in a second, but yeah, there we go. Got a bit skew with. There we go. So here we've got Sanchez, Gusto. Oh, very interesting. Immediately we do have a Chempong in the starting 11. That's huge. So we get Gusto, a Chempong, Colwell, Kukurea. So a Chempong's playing as the right centre back. That's really cool. We get Neto on instead of Madueke. Sancho plays, Enzo plays, Caicedo plays, Kukurea plays. Anyone interesting on the bench? James is on the bench, which is good. We see James on the bench. No George on the bench, and I'm trying to think. There's someone else. Someone else is missing here. Who is missing? I'm forgetting about. Someone else is missing. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of who he is. Oh, it's usually Badia Shield, but he's obviously injured, so that's probably what it is. So okay, let's change the lineup then. What we've actually got, we've got no Tosin, and where is Josh? And we've got Josh starting in the right centre-back role, which is really, really interesting. Neto is obviously on for Madueke as well. So let's redo that. Have I done that? There we go. So, yeah, Enzo, Caicedo. Cool. Okay, so this is really weird, because that... What this signals to me... This is a really good lineup. I'm happy that Josh is playing. I'm happy that he's getting involvement, and that's something off the bingo card immediately. But what this signals to me is something that's a bit concerning to me, and that's Kukurea is not inverting, Gusto is, which is a bit worrying. Because I mean, it's cool though, because we do get, okay, so what we kind of see here is, because basically the reason why I see this is because Josh is seen more as a right back or right centre back. He's going to be the one that comes out wide here. We're going to have Colwell in the centre, and Kukurea is going to play as the third centre back, which he can play here. Definitely can play here, and he's definitely more suited to it than Gusto, I would say. But we'll see the diamond again, I reckon, here, with Palmer coming into the 10, and Caicedo kind of playing a bit deeper here, and we get Gusto in this kind of moved up role. Now this is fine. I like this more because Palmer is not playing on the left side. Because we have Fernandez, that means that Palmer will play a bit more central. So this is kind of what we'll see here. Josh playing is obviously really useful, but again, we could see the only reason why I see it like this, because I just do not think that they would. I don't think that Maresca would trust Josh playing as the central centre back in this kind of 3 when we get into possession. Yeah, that's a good point that you make there. If Wien's not playing the diamond, if we're playing a box instead, then I think that suits this team much more. If my thing was stop lagging, that would be great. Come on, whiteboard. Come on, whiteboard, stop lagging. If we're playing the box with Caicedo and Gusto here, and we're playing like the 3-4-3, this suits us much better, and obviously it gets Palmer into these kind of right-sided areas where he can cut inside on his left foot, and I think that's a bit better for him. I just don't see it happening. I think that we're going to keep seeing against these types of teams as well, because obviously Palace are going to be a team that do sit back against us, and they are going to be a team that kind of tries to absorb pressure and then break on us. I would expect us to play that like 3-1-6 thing that we've kind of been seeing, with Caicedo playing as like the lone centre mid here with these 3 up high. I'd imagine that's kind of what we see. Do I think that that's a good idea? Absolutely not, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, very, very good lineup from Maresca. Very bold lineup, I would say. I don't know if that's due to some kind of late injury. I don't know. It's probably not due to injury, is it? Because DSRC and Tosin are both on the bench too. So I don't know if that's just a late decision that he's made to play Josh, or if he's genuinely like a lot of us in the fan base is just fed up with DSRC and Tosin constantly making mistakes. So maybe there's that. But yeah, one off the off the bingo card already, which is nice. So yeah, we've got pretty much. I got pretty much the entire lineup except for 2 right there. So we've got 9 out of 11, which is quite good. I'm obviously going to leave you guys to the game, and after the game, of course, I'll be streaming. I want to mention as well, obviously, the Discord is still open. I'm going to be running a Q&A on the channel in a few weeks or a few months, depending on how quickly we get questions. So if you want to leave your questions, leave them in the comments if you're watching this on the VOD, or in the Discord. I've made a little tab for Q&A there as well, so if you want to leave them there. But yeah, I'll leave you guys to the game. Hopefully we can reconvene after the game and be celebrating a win, and I'm not sitting here wishing that I didn't boot up the stream. So there we go. Thank you guys for hanging out as ever, and I'll see you after the game.